Greetings and thanks for watching. This video is to help you set up a Wattpad account. It is for writing stories on a platform. I do want to give Wattpad some kudos. They do have a support page. The only reason I'm doing this video is because there's no visuals, so for visual learners, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So I will put the link down to the help page at the bottom of this video, and you can walk through it with me if you'd like to so that you can set up your account. I will also make sure that I put the link to the main page because that's the most important page so that you can get into Wattpad. And for my purposes, we're going to do start writing. Now, I'm going to pretend that I do not have an account so that we could set this up together. So click start writing. Now this is going to ask me a few questions. You can sign up with your Facebook account, you can sign up with Google, and that's if you're logged into Google on your device, or you can sign up with the email. I always prefer that because I know where all the emails would go. So I'm going to pause this to put in my email and username, and you can make up any username. If it's taken, it will tell you. And then you put in your email, your password that you want to confirm. The birthday is to verify your age because there is an age requirement on Wattpad. So it'll make you put that in, and then you have to read the terms of service, the privacy policy, check here, and hit sign up with email. Another thing that I'd like to alert you to is that your passwords have they have certain requirements. So make sure that you read the requirements before you decide on that. Also, your username can only be letters and numbers. So keep that in mind as well. You can't put like symbols and stuff like that in. So next, let's log in and start writing. The first thing you should see if you're on your computer is this. Now you can also install the Wattpad app, which will work as well. Remember that the other ways to sign up other than your email would have included taking you through your Facebook account or your Google account. And I don't really like doing that, so we went through email. So this one says, to get the best Wattpad experience, we're going to choose what we're doing. I'm going to choose both because I want to be able to read other people's stories, which you can anyway, and I also want to be able to write. So next we're going to hit next, and it's going to talk about why you like to do this. Now, if you're doing it for a class, you can choose whatever you want to, but you might want to come back and use this app, this account more often after you finish whatever you're doing with the account. So I'm going to put on mostly write for fun, and you can choose whichever one you want. Have you finished a novel? Yes, because I have. If you have not, choose no. To get to the best Wattpad experience, tell us about yourself. And this is there are other pronouns being used in the world, but this is in case you don't fit into these two categories. I identify as she. And these are three genres that you enjoy reading. So you do have to choose what you enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and choose fantasy. Let's see, nonfiction. And I do like the diversity of some of these, especially when you get into the accounts. And then short story. Okay, so this is going to allow me to start reading. However, if you're wanting to actually write, and it is free to do so, you will have to go ahead and begin that, which I'm going to show you in just a second. But once you load onto this page, you're going to see a bunch of suggestions from Wattpad, which is really cool. So you don't have to like look a lot. And a lot of times they'll do these by rankings. So, and they always have an editor's pick, even if you didn't choose that category. That's why I put the others in there as my choices. And it keeps going on forever down in the bottom. So let's go ahead and set up your first story that you want to write. So right next to the big old Try Premium, there's a write icon, and or words, not icon. You go ahead and hit write, create a new story. If you've already written stories, it's going to show up here, which I have not yet. This is a new account to illustrate how to set this account up. So when I go backwards and hit write, create new story, it's going to pop up like this. Now this is really cool because you can do your cover, your untitled story, you give it a title, you talk about a description, which in my English classes, I usually have people write a paragraph summary. Now, if they wouldn't want to give away the ending, so they would want to take off that ending sentence that I require, hint, hint, and go ahead and put the description in here. The main characters are named, and as you go down, you'll select a category for your story, what genre is it in. And in our class, we are doing short story. So on the select category, you would actually choose short story. You can add tags. Those are really for people who want to, they want their story to be found. So you can add all kinds of tags here, and it explains why you're doing that, helps them understand it. So I might put, let's see, horror, or and you'll have all these things. So if I'm writing about zombies or something like that, I could put that in there. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. That'll be your choice. Who's the primary audience? And it tells you again to explain that. And you definitely want to choose 18 at least and above. So it could be either one of these. Try not to choose 13 to 18, because then, at least for our class, you're going to have people who might be underage reading it. And if you do have some sensitive information in it, that might be a problem. So there are copyright choices. You can add it to the public domain where everybody can use it freely. There are different ones for these. I won't go through all of those, but in general, all rights reserved is what you would keep it on. This rating here is important as well. So if you have information or things in your story that are maybe for a more mature audience, then you would want to put that on. You can actually be banned from Wattpad for doing things that you shouldn't do. So we're going to go to the next page. I'm going to fill this out, and we'll hit next. After we look at the cover. So right here is the cover. If you click add a cover, this will pop up. You can upload a cover or you can create a cover. And this is pretty cool because they have a little app where you can create your cover with them, and you don't have to do anything. Now, I have a Canva account, but you can do all kinds of things with this. It's really cool. So if I were going to pick this one, I would just go in here and change the information in it. So you just double click and you can change all the information. You can also add a link if you were actually going to author a bunch of stories so that you could sell your information. So you do have to put in a cover for this and for your story, so that you can have, when we share these, you'll have your story and your cover in there for all the students to see, for those who are in my class. So before you write, you have to have this entire page set up. One of the things that you'll want to do is make sure you've gone through that process of setting up your cover. I just chose the first one there since this is for illustration purposes. The title, Making It Work Couples. This is a series of short stories that are going to help young couples keep it together. So here's a little description of that, and it is done through a series of creative stories, but it weaves in advice, so it's sort of two worlds. And then Molly Masterson is one of the main characters. To add more characters, you would click here and add more characters. So there's Colin. There's plenty of room to add characters there, and then added in some tags there that you can see. I put 18 to 25 target audience for the young couples, and all rights reserved, and in English. So you can see it doesn't take a lot of work to get this first page set up. Let's see. So it'll ask you if you really want to do it. So you're going to set the mood for your story by adding multimedia if you want to. I'm not going to do that, and it's not going to be required. So here on the story, you can do backgrounds and videos and all kinds of stuff. I think that there's even one place that you can add music, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to do that. So if I'm doing part one, this could be my first story, right? It could be even the name of two couples, of a couple's name. So Jessica and Mike could be the first story, and then here is where you begin. So after you begin, you can do a few things. You can preview, you can save it, or you can publish. Now, if you're gonna keep writing this over time, you're gonna want to save it. The thing is that publishing it, it's actually going to give you a link and everything, and that's what we'll be sharing in class. So that will be probably next week, but this video is for setting up the account and beginning your story. Thank you for listening.